to get the Wickerbill spoiler installed. Under each one of these lights, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and I think they are T10s, but I cannot even read this because it's so small. But the screws I'm talking about are right, I don't know if you can see them, let me shine a light on them. I've already started taking this one out, but that's what you got to take out. And when you do that, the lights will actually fall out, or not fall out, but you can let them hang out. And then it gives you access to the bolts and the nuts that are holding this spoiler on. So when I unscrew those, the spoiler will lift off. Of course, I need to unplug the light as well. Here's our screws for these lights. Then these just kind of hang like that. So I'll probably lay something right here, so I don't want these jiggling and scratching the paint. The old handy dandy thermostat screwdriver. I had backups just in case. Also, this is a good time if you want to upgrade your tail lights. Obviously this is a good time to do it because all you have to do is unplug the plug and then put in the tail lights if you want something aftermarket or from Vet Lights or something along those lines. But I'm going to go ahead and start getting prepared on loosening up this spoiler. So let's see what we got here. And from what I remember, there are 4 bolts coming down. But to be honest with you, I'm not 100% because I installed this, oh gosh, probably 3 years ago. So, but I think it's 1, 2, maybe it's 6. I don't remember. I think it's just 4. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get these loose. The interesting thing I just noticed, the nut on this one actually fell off at some point. And this one's only finger tight, so, but there is double-sided tape holding this on. So it's not a huge concern to me. But okay, yeah, I have a washer, lock washer, and a nut that's holding those on. So I don't know if those over there are finger tight, but we will see. I mean, really, you don't have to lock these down too terribly tight because it was carbon fiber. I didn't want to break it from the tension, so I just snugged them up. But I guess this one I didn't snug up too good because it's missing. It's missing pieces, but it's all good. Didn't go anywhere after 3 years. Also, the socket for the nuts is 11mm. And on these middle ones, the bolts are long, so you will need a deep socket. I don't have a 11mm deep socket, so I'm going to go ahead and use these to latch it on. Everything's going too smooth today. Normally when it goes this smooth, there's normally going to be a problem. But we'll see, hopefully not. Whoa, there went a nut down in here somewhere. I heard it fall, but I didn't see it. It'll work its way out. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it went. I had it and I lost it. All right, all of the bolts are out. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the tail lights. The nuts that were on that didn't fall off in the last 3 years. 1, 2, 3, 4 are all off. I do have double-sided tape under right here as well as right here, and it's on there good, which this is a carbon fiber spoiler, so I want to be careful when I remove it because I don't want to break it. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to attack this without scratching the paint and damaging the car, breaking the spoiler, because the spoiler's still in good shape, and I'm sure there's someone else with a C6 that would probably like to have it, and I will definitely get rid of it because I have no need for it. So let's go ahead and see what we can do with getting the spoiler off. Man, double-sided tape really works. 3M double-sided tape. As much as I love you, I don't like you. My finger's gonna be hurting after this. I'm worried about breaking this wing. I think I'm more worried about scratching the car, but I wonder if I could put a rag and then slide something under to pry it, something with a rounded edge so I don't scratch the paint. And I think that's what I might do, because now I'm going to kill my fingers. I think what I'm going to try is this. It's rounded, it's thin enough to get under, slide it up under this and wedge it up. Let's give it a go. Seems to be working, and I'm not scratching anything, so I guess that's good, a good sign. Oh, yeah, the spoiler's broke. Note to self, don't use double-sided tape on a new one. Well, you'll get to see what the inside of the spoiler looks like. Yeah. Woo! Guess we ain't selling that. I had no intentions of replacing this, so that's why I did use double-sided tape too. Don't do it. I'm really curious to see how the holes are going to line up on the next one. Maybe I'll get lucky and the holes will line up. Probably not. Well, this is what it looks like with the wing off. I suggest not using double-sided tape. I'm going to have to take that off before I put the new one on. What a mess. I thought about selling the old rear spoiler, but that's not the case. So it is what it is. I can't remember the brand of this spoiler, but I wasn't really happy with it anyways. It's not a bad spoiler, I just think it was cheaply made, but it did look good, and I ended up having it wrapped to keep with the all black theme instead of carbon fiber. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up and see how the new one lines up. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, I didn't want to take a razor blade or anything to this to get this double-sided tape off because I didn't want to scratch the car, so I am using a very dull flat point screwdriver just to get up under the double-sided tape to kind of lift it off. This is when you know it's getting serious. And what I'm doing here is just kind of taking this flat screwdriver, and I'm not trying to touch the paint, obviously. And this screwdriver is very, very dull. But I'm just kind of pushing the double-sided tape up to where I can get my hand on it, then try to peel it up. And even if it does scratch the paint a little bit, I'm not too concerned because the other wing will cover all this. However, all of this other stuff like this, those aren't scratches. That's just the hair from the fiberglass and just dirt. But I'm going to clean all this off before I set the new wing, just a little bit at a time. We're going to go ahead and get all that. You know what they say, no glove, no love. And nice, there we go. That's all she wrote. I gotta clean all this up, get all these little specks of tape up, and see how this new one fits. Good as new, minus the wing. Unfortunately, the unboxing video got deleted, but here is everything that came in the C6.5 Wickerbill box. We got some instructions that really don't tell us much of anything. We have some double-sided tape, or gasket, which looks like gasket, but I don't know if I'm going to use that. Some hardware, some more hardware, some bolts, the third brake light, which I probably will paint or tint it. This cool little ID that they give you when the wing obviously was made, the manufacture date and serial number. The grommets, the base portion, then you have the winglets, look really good. And as you can tell, I went with the gloss black option, but they have multiple options, I think like carbon fiber, and I don't know if they paint to match, but this was the gloss black. And this is the middle piece, which this piece you can take on or off, and I went with the tinted piece. They do make clear pieces, but that is the tinted piece. This was a special little gift, I guess you could say. Everyone loves stickers. Don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but the wing was manufactured by Innovative Auto Creations. It is a very nice product. It is well made, and I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out on my car. And I don't know if it's a myth or not, but from what I hear, for every sticker you put on your car, it gives you 15 horsepower. So if that's the case, I may run the sticker. And I don't know if this is a sad day or a happy day. I guess it's a happy day because I'm putting my new wing on. But it's a sad day that I'm having to toss this when I was hoping I could salvage it and someone could use it. See ya! Now I don't have much of a working space, so I'm going to use the back of my car. So here's the Wickerbill, the base that is. So it's going to sit something like that, so it looks nice. However, with this kit, the female adapter for the light does not match the male adapter fitting. I don't know if it's a C7 adapter or if it's just screwed up from the factory. The wing fits, the adapters don't line up, which I really don't care, because I don't really care about the third brake light anyways, because it's about this big and I'm going to smoke it out anyways, tint it, so it doesn't matter to me. I don't care if that works or not. So I'm going to take some electric tape, tape up the fittings just so no water gets in there, potentially short anything, which I don't think it will, but just better to be safe than sorry. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. The other thing I noticed about with this wing, the light obviously mounts here. They have a little teeny hole right here, so you have to kind of take the wires, put it in here, fish it through this little hole, pull it through, snap the light in. And something else I noticed, they didn't give me screws for this. So I'll probably just drill those out tiny and then find some screws to run in there, because I really don't know how else that light mounts in there. So that's probably what I'll do here shortly, is just kind of drill those out and find some screws temporarily until I can get some black ones that fit in there nice and snug. The holes are drilled, but the light doesn't fit in there quite perfect. So I'm going to have to kind of, I know it's these corners from the mold, they're not perfectly straight, so it's kind of holding the light from going in. So I'm going to go ahead and sand the edges of this just to get the light to snap in. Close, baby. I could probably push it in, but I'm afraid if I push it in, I'll break something. So more sanding it is. Oh yeah, we in there. Nice. Nice and snug. Yeah, I want to take this female fitting because I don't want any moisture get in there and short anything out, which, man, I don't think it will, but I think I'd rather err on the caution side and it not happen than it happening. Now the other individuals that did this conversion, I'm curious to see if your fittings, your adapters lined up, or did you run into the same situation I just did where the adapter looks as if it is the actual C7 adapter, even though the wing is designed for the C6. So leave in the comments for the ones that have done this conversion. I'm just curious. Like I said, not a big deal because I'm not going to use that third brake light anyways, and I'm going to have it tinted. When I mentioned hold out, where this one is not round like this one, that's from the factory. So I'm thinking it's kind of, when you put a wing on, you can kind of adjust it to the right or to the left. All right, I think I got the gist of it. You slide these under. Don't tape them to the wing like I did originally, because that don't work. Okay, we're in. The problem is I just waxed the car yesterday, so pretty close. This one is not. I got a drill there. I'm gonna have to hold that one out just a smidge. These look like they line up. That's from the old wing. drill this one out a smidge, and drill that one out. Now these are holes from the old wing, and all that's covered up. Now for the scary part. Now I got this gasket I'm going to go ahead and kind of put on. That way when I compress the screws, it doesn't sit up against the paint and tear it up. Just go little by little. And this is what the gasket looks like that I ran. Took nice easy bends, took my time to get it on there perfect. It kind of goes with the contour of the spoiler. This thing does look good though. Just a pain in the ass to put on. Come on, baby. Feed you in here. Oh. She looks good. Now this is just the base. I got to put on the winglets and the centerpiece. Now for the winglets, this screw here says it's a T15. According to the misleading instructions, it don't tell you squat, but the T25 fits in there nice and snug. So I'm saying it's a T25. They can say it's a T15, but either way, it's going to work. Now I wish they had rubber grommets. So I may go back to Lowe's and buy some, because the last thing I want to do is tighten these down and then it crack the plastic. Now I want to go ahead and show you the difference. Winglet, no winglet. That way you can get a side-by-side comparison. No winglet, winglet. And to put this stage 3 center portion in, got these rubber washers. They just kind of seat in here. They don't stay in there, so you got to kind of just play with them for a second. I guess I'll probably just kind of slide it in when I start to take these screws out. But in order to mount the center part, you got to take out that screw, that screw, that screw, and that screw. Don't mind the fingerprints, but I like it actually. I can still see a little bit of a gap there, so I may lower it a little bit more. But that's the beautiful thing about this spoiler, is I can actually adjust this. Now I guess I need to put these taillights back in, make sure everything works. This is how she turned out. Looks really, 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 really good. Next thing to do is to take it for a spin. My opinion of the Innovative Auto Creations rear spoiler, I personally love it. I think the fitment is perfect. I think the way it was designed was a really, really good design. I guess the only negative thing I can say about the product is that it is a little difficult to get positioned right to where you can actually mount the winglet or the wing itself. The holes don't line up. I think it would be easier if the holes were kind of centered over the taillights and not in between them or to the right or to the left of them. And they probably did that because the base of the taillight, when it sits in, it seats in probably a good inch or two, and they probably wanted to make sure it wasn't going to hit the bottom of a, you know, one of the bolts or something like that. So I get it, but I just think the positions of those, or the placements on those attachments for the wing, could be in a better location. But all in all, I think the product is amazing. The paint finish on it is perfect. I mean, it follows the curves of the hatch extremely well. There is no gaps. I just think it's a great product and I highly recommend it. I love the options you have to where you can run it as a stage 1, 2, or 3, kind of whatever your preference is. Right now I'm running it as a stage 3 because I like how it looks. But to switch up looks, you know, I could take off the middle portion and make it a stage 2 and it still look great. But again, I think it's well worth the money. Right now, I think they have $300 off compared to what it was like 4 or 5 months ago. That's why I decided to pull the trigger and purchase it, because when I was looking at it, you know, they were pretty expensive originally, and I just wasn't ready to bite the bullet and drop, you know, $800 on a spoiler. So when they took $300 off, I didn't know if they just did it for the new year or if it was a special, but as soon as I saw it, I jumped on it. So I definitely saved a good amount of money, and it was definitely worth the purchase, and it looks amazing on the car. Videos, pictures, all of that does not do it justice, and from what I've read on forums, it is functional, so that's a good thing. I'm not trying to make my car look like a C7, but some of the C7 things I just think look better on a C6. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to drop a comment, feel free to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell. It keeps me in the YouTube algorithm to where when new content comes out, it'll alert you. And we have a lot more things coming down the line, a lot more modifications, little things and big things. And I appreciate the support on the channel. I do this for fun, just because I enjoy doing it. Drop a comment, say hello, and see you on the next one. Let's go.